You guys want to talk Marathon for a little bit?
Sure.
Marathon had its gameplay reveal yesterday. Marathon is the upcoming, now we know, although we kind of knew beforehand, extraction hero shooter from the next game from Bungie, which came out, and I don't think it necessarily, like, it had a lot of hype going into it. As soon as it was shown, I think a lot of that hype was deflated. And if that's too strong of a statement, I'm very comfortable saying that the internet is divided about it. There's a pretty big schism between folks on if you really like it or really not interested in it. I don't know anyone that's like lukewarm on Marathon.
That's kind of where I'm sitting.
Yeah, lukewarm. I have different. I think Ko, I saw you. Did you read Tamor's article yesterday on GameSpot? Because I
did. I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
I read it. Yep.
His like statement on it.
Well,
was
it's
perfect. Perfectly succinct for me.
He could have written a lot about that about Concord. Like it's very tangential. Where it's we have a game that is capitalizing on extraction shooting, which is great. It's doing it in an arcadey format, which is not like Tarkov or Dark and Darker. This is not a slow, methodical extraction shooter. This is a frantic Apex-style extraction shooter, which is already going to completely change what it feels like. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what this noise is, if it's in my room or if it's in...
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're good. Sorry to interrupt.
But there are... there's kind of three main things about this game that I think surprised a lot of people, including me. Now, first, let me get my old man one out of the way. This game does not look anything like the originals. It looks like they retconned a lot of the original stuff. They haven't yet really done the story for it yet, so clearly that wasn't a big concern. So, like, it's pretty clear at this point that they only brought back Marathon for that. The premise of this game is that the Marathon stuff is like in ruins, and you play these, what do they call them? Stalkers, runners?
I think runners is the
runners?
in canon name.
You play a cybernetic runner, and you all drop into these ruins, and you get as much as you can, and then you get out. Well, the problem there is that apparently they're trying to say that these super artsy fartsy cyberpunk levels are the ruins from the original two games. And that immediately means they retconned the look of the original games. Because if these are supposed to be the ruins from the original, like none of the original game had this weird cyberpunk aesthetic. So I'm not really sure how they can possibly say, like, I honestly think they would have been a lot better off just not having it anything to do with Marathon, because nothing in it looks like it has anything to do with Marathon. I mean, the original Marathons were story-based shooters where you fought aliens, literally,
right,
and jumped through like dimensions, and we're on spaceships and stuff. Like it's not even related from the looks of it. And then the other thing people have been talking about is the aesthetic. It has a very defined art style. For me, it reminds me a lot of Watch Dogs 2. And it's one of those styles that is clearly more fashion and cosmetic oriented than any kind of realism or immersion. Like, they want this game to be a fashion show, and they want to sell you cosmetics and have you drops so you can make your guys look like Fortnite, as off the wall, as personalized as possible. And I think, again, nothing like that in the originals. And it's kind of, I think, unfortunate for a lot of us, because when you kind of go down that alley, you start straying real far from any type of immersion or realism. You just become like a giant explosive neon color palette. And it's like, for a lot of us, it's just an arcade game. That's not really like, and don't get me wrong, this is a personal opinion, but for many of us, that's not really it.
This probably come across harsh. You say for many of us, for a lot of us, how many people actually played the Mac version of Marathon like back?
No. I'm not talking about compared to Marathon. I'm talking about compared to like Tarkov or Dark and Dark.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay, for the record, the original Marathons were basically in the Doom engine.
Yeah, I started to say very few people watching this show. Well, actually, come to think of it, this show probably has the most, like, the highest percentage of people that played the Mac version of Marathon watching
and again,
at this particular
I
point.
do want to be careful here. What I'm saying about the art style is completely just my opinion on it.
Right.
But it is wildly variant from like other games of this type of like it's going to be real hard for me personally to like get into a game like this, to care about it long term. The good parts about this game are the gameplay looks solid. It looks like the gun stuff and stuff is fun. Although I will say, like, I hate the aesthetics of the guns. They're all just like super blocky and basic. Like, I'm not. I think the theory is that they're all like 3D printed or something. But
it's very
like, at one point
coded. Like the sniper looks like the sniper from Halo.
Yeah, at one point I thought they were
And
doing like a
Destiny.
weapon made in Minecraft. It's just I just don't like the look of them. But and again, that's all just personal stuff. But I will say the gameplay looks solid. It looks fun. It didn't look very buggy from what we saw. So, I mean, I think if you like the art style and you like this type of game, it all just kind of works. It works. So, I mean, like I think that's one of the reasons that the internet is kind of split, is because half the internet likes extraction shooters. They like Apex. They like this art style. So that's like the trifecta. This will probably be fun for them. It'll probably be a lot of fun for them. But other people, I think, wanted things from this game that they just aren't getting, or were expecting things from the game they just aren't getting. And are just kind of like, because they made a lot of very strong decisions with this game, especially with the art style.
Oh yeah.
And you know, that those are decisions that are those are risks, and they're gonna alienate some people and bring other people in. So I think that they just took a very kind of large, risky approach with the art style, and a lot of people are kind of turned off by it in some ways. Some people love it, some people don't,
Right.
at all.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that and why it's split. I will
say this.
Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick, I watched a gameplay trailer of somebody playing, and I swear to God, it was just like a 2-minute nonstop sound of weird sound effects. Like it was like from all
the music,
like,
or just
from
like,
the game, like from all the blipping and beeping, and like the second he targets someone to be like bleep bleep, and then he'd run forward and some door bleep bleep bleep, bleep would open, then he'd take out his gun bleep, 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 and then his friend would come in and use an ability bleep, 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 and they were all different. So it was just like, it sounded like I was in a casino listening to slot machines going off. Like it was really hard. Maybe if you played it long enough, you could like discern those. But as somebody who didn't know what was going on, I was looking at this being like, this is too much. Like, this is like, it just, with the colors and all the explosions, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm old, apparently. Is this?
I mean, maybe it is an assault on the senses, for better or worse. Like there's there's a lot coming at you. Like even in this screen right here, while it's fairly minimalistic UI, there's still a ton of information being presented in that very screen. And I would say even for the gameplay itself, they, I think, did a pretty good job from the UI perspective, actually telling you what's here, because that's the other thing that they have going against them is extraction shooters have a fairly hardcore fan base, and most of the like, I hate saying like normie fan base, you know, but I guess it's the best way to do it. The normie fan base shies away from extraction shooters because they can be pretty punishing.
They take investment.
Yeah, and they take investment, and if you die, like you lose a significant amount of like character growth, and some people don't want to experience that. So, in a lot of ways, Bungie has, I guess you can't lose someone you never had, but they've kind of pushed away a lot of the hardcore extraction folk. And I don't necessarily know if it landed with the normie audience either. So they're kind of alienating two different audiences that they both need for the game.
Another interesting thing is that, like, if you think about the speed of this game as an extraction shooter, like Tarkov is way slower. Dark and Darker, way slower. Even Cycle, you could argue, was a little slower than what we're seeing in this, especially when it comes to the abilities and stuff. So it's for people that like that style of gameplay, I'm curious if this will bring them into this type of game, extraction shooters, where they normally felt like that other one was too slow. I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, is it good that it's super fast paced in an extraction shooter, or the fact that it's so fast, is that going to turn off extraction shooter people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like, that could work either way for them.
And I said this yesterday, when I first looked at the gameplay, I think chat kind of turned me around to more Apexy, but I immediately was like, this is very Modern Warfare speed. Like it's pretty quick. And then when I saw the creators playing it, I was like, oh, this is very, very Modern Warfare or Apexy.
All the gameplay I saw, it looked like people were playing this game like a BR or like a Fortnite or COD. Like there was almost no Tarkov style play. I saw like there's not like anyone that I saw that was like ratting, right? Like that just wasn't a thing because everyone was just sprinting around. So many times I would see someone looting and then like somebody just sprints in and one shots them. And it's going to be interesting because I think it has made me realize, like, for an extraction shooter, I think for me, slower may be better. Like, just as a personal thing, like, I don't know if, for me personally, the super arcadey fast gameplay on top of, like, the almost slower, more methodical extraction shooting looting kind of loop, like, that may be a little at odds for me.
Yeah, I would say it's
looking forward to trying it, though, and seeing if
that's a lot
that's
of people.
The case.
I definitely will try it. I'm definitely going to check it out. They're doing a closed alpha
same.
later this month, which will not be streamable from everything that I've understood. I think we were given codes to give away yesterday for the stream, and chat was saying like when they signed up with those codes, they signed an NDA to not talk about anything. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty heavily NDA'd come later this month, which for a project that's out in 5 months, I don't know how I feel about that.
Dude, why would they do that when they've already showed so much?
Yeah. Unless there's a lot more. So this starts a whole nother process.
Yeah, maybe this is a good thing.
Yeah,
maybe they have a lot
stuff
under wraps. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's that kind of NDA.
Knock on wood, maybe that's the NDA. But
that's the copium NDA.
It's a copium NDA, yeah. That was that article that I tweeted out on GameSpot. Where essentially the game, and there was some inaccuracies, I think, in this. They went on to say that there's a whole nother topic, that it's a premium product that is full priced in this GameSpot thing. Then Marathon came out and quote tweeted that and said, no, it is a premium product, but it won't be quote full price. Everyone thinking that with the leak, it's going to be a $40 game, which I think is kind of an okay price point. Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking they're going to model out after Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
That was wildly successful.
Right. Not that bad of a price point, but what they're launching with is 3 maps with a 4th one launching shortly after release. I don't know how big those maps are, but and there's no story from what we know. There's no like the game is 3 maps and 6 classes, and that's what it's launching
I'm still
with.
like, I need to watch more of the stuff because I want to know how the class system is going to work.
Yeah.
Like, is it like Dark and Darker where you roll a character and that is your permanent class? And then you can like have a bunch of different classes, or like, do you have a singular entity that then you can make different classes when you want? Like because how they do that is going to dictate a lot of how fun the looting is.
Yeah.
And how they're going to do the loot based on the class stuff. And, you know, it's going to be like real weird if like classes are overpowered. I really wish personally they would have done like, instead of classes, just had like slotted abilities, right? So you can like just customize your character to have different abilities and not like, because this just stinks of Concord hero shooter. Like that's one of my biggest concerns for it is like people are going to come out and just be like, oh, it's another hero shooter. You know what I mean?
They're definitely going to have
something completely different.
Yeah. I think that's way too, would that be, is reductionist?
Reductive.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's what people are going to do.
No, you're 100% correct that they will do exactly that.
Yeah. They're already people saying it's the next Concord.
They went on, put in effort to say like you can customize what you're playing and spec out what you're playing, so much so that there's rarity of items, and when you get to like the top level, the top rarity of those items, and I forgot what they were called, they start to alter some of the effects that your character can do in ways that kind of, as they were saying, like change the character and make it play a certain way, whereas other things will make it play a certain way. So it does sound like there's going to be a pretty significant amount of variance there, which is good, but it's one of those things where until I really like can sink my teeth into it, and I haven't watched that much creator footage because there was an embargo that was lifted, and I think a lot of people did dive into that. I don't know if they were allowed to be like, there's X amount of items and there's a wiki that has all that stuff yet, but I have not dove into it. But they did say that there's going to be a significant amount of like customization. So we will see.
I was excited I was excited to hear the news that they were making a Lego Tarkov, and I'm glad that
People also said Roblox
some hype,
Tarkov.
and some
was the
hype
other.
behind it.
Yeah. To go back to that, I will actually use your joke as a serious point. I think it was I'm stealing from Lyric, who was talking about, and he's played a ton of Tarkov, like extraction shooters. For a lot of people, the level of stress and tension that those games present when it's quiet, when there's not much going on, and then there's a loud fucking shotgun or something, and you're just like, oh God, I'm freaking out, is like completely negated in something like this.
That's why I loved Tarkov, because it gave a gameplay experience that wasn't like the run and gun games that you can just download for a dime a dozen. Like it gave this new look, and more importantly, like looting by yourself alone and like just listening in your headphones almost with your eyes closed for footsteps and stuff. Like that's an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Big time.
Now, I don't know if that's here. Maybe they were trying to show, gunplay more than they were showing that, because they mentioned that you can like solo queue and you can, stealth and walk around these things and do different solo loot.
Solo queuing is going to be interesting, especially with some of those abilities that we saw.
Yeah.
Like the shield guy.
There's a shield guy. You can basically, there's also an invis guy. You can just straight up turn invis and ignore a group of 3 running by. Speaking of the shield guy, there he is right there. But yeah, it comes down to like, I think we're just going to have to see more. And I think more people are going to be able, or going to have to play it and figure out for themselves when this launches in September. But if there's anything good to come out of
solo queue for now?
Oh, there is no solo queue. I thought they said that they will have some sort of solo queue system. Maybe they refined that in a creator video or something.
Yeah. Dude, another thing that is so confusing to me. So are you picking a class or are you picking a hero? Because one of the things I saw is Elias Defexis, voice of Adam Jensen, Deus Ex, love the dude. Yeah. He tweeted out that he is voice directing the whole game. Great for him. But then he also said that he voices Void. And which Void is one of the class character things. Yeah. So are you playing you or are you playing...
You're playing Void.
Like a dude. You're playing a dude named Void.
Yeah.
And there's just going to be like 10 of that same dude running around in the map.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
The game was, they even said like, yeah, you can
I hated that in Battlefield and I hate that in this.
They said it was like a meme squad where you can have 3 of the same class, is what they mentioned.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hero characters. I know. Well, some hero games make it so you like can't pick the same ones, and they at least try to make it somewhat immersive. But others just don't. I guess
the way that I think the narrative works is that they are all like cloned bodies.
Yeah, but they're not cloned minds, right?
No, they're cloned bodies. I don't know. They put out a video after as like a one more thing that for me was probably the best part of the whole thing. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that.
The cinematic with them sitting down at the beginning and
it's I could play a little bit of it. It's really good. And then it looks like it has nothing to do with the game. It's just like the opening cinematic. And that's it. It's 9 minutes long. I'll start it here just so people can see it. But it's from the is it the
Were they
Love,
trying
Death,
to make
and
the
Robots?
point in this Were they trying to make the point in the cinematic that they don't remember the runs? Because didn't the guy at the beginning know who the kid was, and then at the end he didn't?
Yeah,
so it's like every time they
like
die,
that.
They're losing memories or something.
Yeah. That's every time they're like born again or whatever, they have a memory wipe, which is kind of the narrative aspect of it. So the minds have no continuity, I think is essentially what they're saying there. So. Like clone.
So basically, they are pure gamers.
Yeah, they're pure gamers. They're TikTok brained gamers.
TikTok gamers, cooked gamers. Got it.
Yeah, ultimately. Yeah, so I don't know.
What do I think of weapon durability? Do the weapons have durability in this?
Oh, I don't know about that. They didn't. I don't think
I
they
haven't
said
heard anything about that.
Yeah.
I don't think they've said anything about that, dude.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they did. That would be a
that would not be a great call. No.
Yeah. Someone in my chat said there's a hidden durability value. Huh. Okay. As the weapon changes hands,
the durability is they can only transfer a weapon so many times.
Yeah, until the weapon is junk. Weapons can only be looted a certain number of times before they get scrapped and can only be sold.
That's different. That could be interesting if done well.
That's a way
to help. Well, and that's a way to enforce item economy too. So like that's not the worst thing, especially if they add in some mechanic that has the same player play multiple characters. So if they were moving the gun between their characters, they could only do that so many times. And they'd have to go out and get a new one. Like that could be cool. That's just an item economy thing.
Yeah.
But I will say it's great that they don't make it so if you use a gun for a long time, that gun goes bad. That would not be because then you'd gear fear every single player you have, and that would just be a mess. So,
yeah. So yeah, that's Marathon. We're gonna be seeing one thing I really did like, and I don't know if it was a shared, I don't want to say universal feeling, but I guess I'll judge chat's response to see if I'm the lone person in this. I love the music. I thought the music for this was like on fucking point. I loved everything about any of the.
Was this the one with Geschäftelstein?
Maybe is that who that
is? Dude, they're one of my favorite. Literally a song
I didn't know that's
on my
that
phone.
Was. Is that really who that is?
Freaking
Holy
awesome.
Shit.
Well, if it's the song I'm thinking of, then yeah, that was the thing that I saw was it was the first trailer I think had Geschäftelstein in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This part has me so worried, man.
Say it one more time. Co.
That's how
I'm
you
not
say
going to because I say it wrong every time. Geschäftelstein. It's G-Stein, man.
That's the guy that's in the all metal outfit that is in between.
Yeah. He's been going, dude. He's awesome. I've been listening to him for like he's been at it for years.
Did he
this part here,
Lady Gaga last night?
He did. He actually he stealth opened for Lady Gaga at Coachella. Anyway,
see, kids, we're hip. We know all the cool things.
I used to spin him when I DJ'd. I loved it. So.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So one thing that's a little bit concerning in this, though, for me as a person that, again, is not super into the like aesthetic part of it, they show the female character in this sitting down at a chair, and every time she does, she's in like a full new set of cosmetics. And every time I saw that, I was just seeing like a $sign pop up above her head. Like of stuff they're gonna put on the store.
Yeah.
And it just made me realize that like people are gonna look ridiculous in this game, man. They're gonna look ridiculous. Like, especially with this art style and everything. Like, and that's totally cool for a lot of people. Have fun.
Yeah.
You do you. You know, Fortnite skins are huge. I get it. But man, I tell you, people are gonna look just like weird mecho clown junkies. I don't know.
I love the art style in this. It doesn't bother.
Yeah.
You say Fortnite, and I think it's the polar opposite, where Fortnite's just like a media mash of anything popular. And this, I don't know. This has like a vibe to it that I'm into. Like a. I would say this is closer to cyberpunk than anything, which is why I'm so surprised you're not into this style. Because it is.
It's because the thing I love about cyberpunk is how immersive they are with cyberpunk. Everything connects to reality. It's realistic. I don't get that feeling at all with this.
Okay.
Like this just seemed this makes me feel Watch Dogs 2, not cyberpunk.
Watch Dogs 2 being like
Watch
hey,
Dogs 2
fellow
being,
kids.
Yes, fashion over form.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Fashion over form. And where cyberpunk in a lot of times, although don't get me wrong, it's super. There's a lot of form over function in cyberpunk. You know, like things don't always look pretty, so they'll work. I don't feel like any of that in this game. I feel like everyone in this game is like a would be an Italian runway model thing with all their little
yeah, man, that's fucking
flair.
cool.
They're 55 pieces of flair. Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny enough. I say this, and people in chat are saying they have the exact issue I'm talking about with cyberpunk. So it's just flavors. It's just opinions.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I like the narrative run through of all this, by the way, when like people get shot and stuff. It was actually impactful. And again, this was better than the footage, I thought.
I had a question for this part. Did she not bring a gun with her?
I think that's like part of her class is that she's kind of like a disruptor. And so she can like...
The scene confused me because she notices him and she doesn't attack him. She runs. And I was like, is that...
Well, she grabs a gun right after there. So maybe she's just running to try to get out to like, quote unquote, save her loot. I don't know what the narrative
maybe
hook was that.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like a gameplay reason she wasn't attacking him. And here she does this thing here.
And it might just be that,
with her hand. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess that shows like the deviousness of the of the character, but it ultimately it comes to light that no one wins in this situation.
Which is frequently how these games end.
Yeah, they also, another running narrative I thought for the entire reveal is they were very much trying to nail down the fact that like, you're gonna die. This is a game about death. You're going to, like, failure is part of the game. And that, again, I think is a whole nother aspect about these type of games, that it's going to be really hard to teach an audience that, unless they're wanting to be taught that.
Not only that, I think it's very smart of Bungie to be fundamentally incorporating failure into the game loop. Like, that's smart of them. But one very concerning thing I heard is at one point they were like, yeah, but don't worry, every failure is a new set of memories. And it's like, no, failure sucks. Don't make the failure glorified. That's, no one likes that. The good part is going back in, like make that part good. But the whole like, no, it's okay, you died, you made great memories. Like, no, dude, that not the play. Yeah. It's just like, you're going a good direction with this. Don't screw it up.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm still shocked this comes out in 5 months. That still is. And the fact that things are still NDA'd, like, it's very, very Bungie.
I will say,
very Bungie.
Like, for people like me, the thing that could get me to really play this game, and I'm just gonna, like, I was thinking about this last night because somebody said, like, hey, Co, you're kind of lukewarm on Marathon. What could they do to get you in? What could they do to, like, actually make you really want to play it? And the way they could do that with me is if they first of all, fundamentally connected to the original games. I don't even care if they do it poorly, just somehow bridge that gap, like make at least some sense. But then also, like, there's a huge amount of lore in the original that could be super interesting in this setting. And it makes me very interested to know, like, how are they going to do the meta progression of this game? Like, you know, is it just going to be like classic Apex seasons? Is there going to be any
there
kind
is
of
going to be
story
seasons.
element?
They
I know about the seasons,
seasons,
but I mean, is it going to be classic? Like, where it's just like, you know, you get a couple new maps and stuff. Are there going to be Destiny-style story things we can do? Like, how is the player going to get the story? Is there going to be some cool mechanism to give us interesting lore about the characters? Like, one thing about that cinematic that was kind of interesting is you're clearly playing with some memory loss stuff. Are we going to be able to explore that? Are we going to be able to, like, dig into that? Or are you just showing that because you think it's cool? Like, let's be blunt, a lot of games like this do. So if they were to go deep with this, if they were to make it very, like, lore-y and interesting, I would play that. Like, that could be cool. Like, I could pretty much put everything else aside to dive into something like that. So yeah, it's kind of, I'm hoping they keep saying over and over that they're going to respect the original subject matter and kind of like add to it, be additive. So I'm curious. I want to know what that looks like.
Yeah,
that could get me in. That could get me really in if it's good.
I saw there was a creator that was talking about the fact that they found like a secret, I think he said the word dungeon. I don't know if it's to that extent, but basically there was a secret in a level that led to like a PvE style area that was fairly involved, that other people, once they had like unlocked that secret, could also just come in and kill them all. So I like that aspect of it, as long as it's, cool. You know, I guess once the secret's out, then everyone's going to be like, oh, they're in, you know, they're in that area. Let's wait outside the door type deal.
Of course, everything gets meted eventually.
Everything will very much get meted. Yeah.
Have they announced the cadence in which they're going to do updates and stuff? Like when you said they mentioned seasons. Okay.
I don't know if they got that. I don't know if they got to that extent.
Cool.
Anyways, I want to read the end of this article here, these 2 paragraphs, because it's pretty much like directly out of my brain. My feel.
This is the Tamor's article?
This is Tamor's article, yeah. So he goes on to say, either way, I trust Bungie to make good on its ideas and realize its ambition in some form or another. Despite its rocky start, Destiny reached a much better place after the hard work put in to build on what was there. Similarly, Destiny 2's ups and downs also brought with them incredibly memorable character stories and moments. The gameplay of both games also evolved as time went on to become more intricate and engaging. Bungie has repeatedly shown a dedication to its games, so with that in mind, I'm excited about where Marathon could go. But there's also a graveyard filled with short-lived games as service titles that failed to capture the attention of an already committed audience. And lately, big-budget titles from well-funded, high-profile teams have unfortunately made it there too. Like it or not, there are certain things that players already have and expect from similar titles, and if they're to find a place in their gaming lives. In a world of free-to-play titles, a full-priced game that is light on content but full of hopes, dreams, and ambitions may not be enough to inspire in others the same confidence that I have in Bungie. And
I will say, like, I'm interested in, as somebody who does not play Destiny and Dungeon stuff. Like, didn't Destiny have a pretty good amount of issues? I mean, I remember that it was a very up and down for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
that article made it sound. No, I mean the article made it sound like he's counting on them because of that. But I mean, there was like entire years where they were like barely hanging on. So
that's
even with that in mind, do you still have confidence?
I mean, they stuck Destiny's. In my mind, they stuck Destiny 2's ending. They got there. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Destiny 2 right now. Because for me, that game ended last year. So they made good on it then. It just took, 10 years to get to that point, right? So that's, again, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to capture that right off the bat. And also, given today's, like, climate, I don't think they can do what they did with Destiny and be successful, where it is those ups and downs, because people are so quick to drop.
Absolutely not.
They're so quick to drop things these days because there's so many more options, right? Like they can go do another thing, they can go play another thing.
Especially since it's entering the realm of free-to-play games as a non-free-to-play game. Their biggest competition is literally going to be something that people can download for free in a lot of ways. So.
Yep. So we'll see. Zeke, in a lot of ways, you're the audience that they try to capture, right? You're the I don't like hero shooters. I don't like the experience of hero shooters. Did this do anything to like help you? No?
Not really, man. There was nothing nothing in there that was enticing for me. The most enticing thing about that entire discussion you guys had was the trailer was made by if you are a fan of Love, Death, and Robots like I am.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
You know exactly which artist did like which like episode of Love, Death, and Robots they got to do this trailer. And that was the trailer was fucking awesome to watch.
It was
really cool. The gameplay though, like, man, it just has, for someone like me, it has just so many things going against it. The aesthetic, I am not a fan of. Not a fan of the blocky style. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that, and the
same boat.
Not only that, but with like, here's a splash of neon on everything. We're just gonna put a splash of neon pink and neon green and all that kind of shit. I'm not even talking about the gameplay. I'm just talking about the look of it. Is just, it's a mess to me. It doesn't. It Cyberpunk made sense, like Ko was saying. Like within the city, whatever the city of Cyberpunk was, everybody looked like that. Mm-hmm. But in this, it's like the characters like stand out against like this environment that they're in a lot of times. And it seems like, not only does it seem like out of place, but it seems counterproductive if you're shooting against people you don't want to stand out.
I literally said the exact same thing.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
I said the exact same thing when I was watching the trailer. I was like, why do all these people look like walking targets? And the point is to make yourself look as neon as possible. And then, yeah, it's the same thing as Fortnite. Like it just goes to show you, you're not playing any type of realistic thing. It's just a game. It's just an arcade game. And
but to Fortnite's credit, everything looks cartoony. So like that makes sense.
Not wrong. Yep. But, yeah, I don't know. I completely agree with everything you said, Zeke.